Rise, my son. Rise. Rise, my son. Rise. We are
Testing. 433. Testing. Hey, what's up? It's me. Hey, can we talk? Yeah, it's just me. Hi, hello. 4:33 a.m. Yeah, it's early. I love getting up early, if you haven't realized that. There's a stillness in the world at this time of day, dare I say it. And it's weird calling it day when it's night. Or at least there's lack of light. And when you're waiting for the sun to rise, and you know it's meant to rise, it could be, well, frustrating, right? Yeah. Let's pretend that we're outside waiting for the sun to rise. You and me. There's no voices here, just me. Hi. It's Ja. The man behind all of this. There's no voices, there's no characters. I love doing that, but it sometimes masks the real message here. And I don't know if anything got channeled this morning, but I just felt an unease inside of me. I wanted to talk to you about it. Can we talk? Excuse me. 1:23 in. Enough of the time. And there's a lot of symbolism here. There's a lot of hidden things. If you know, you know. You know? I guess that's my first question. Do you know? Have you thought about it? Is the sun meant to rise? This is episode 8, I guess. And I was going to talk about a lot of things. And I've got some tabs on screen. I'll just go from left to right and just kind of put a bow on this thing. I don't know where to go with this. So I figure we can talk. And if you're listening to this first, please don't. This is episode 8 of a series called The Sun is Meant to Rise. Which sun, I ask? And no, I'm not making a joke about or a play on words of S-U-N and S-O-N, because we did talk about Jesus, we talked about Mary Magdalene, we talked about a lot of things. And I'm going to continue talking about a lot of things, but I wanted to talk to you, my friend, about the light inside of all of us, the divine spark, the sun inside all of us. And when our consciousness is meant to rise up, elevate. And does that mean elevate separate from the vessel that we're in? Because I'm convinced, aren't you? There's more to life than this, right? And I'm not going to sit here and ask you, what's life all about? But we're going to dance around it, kind of, right? Do you care? That's the first test. Because, my friend, if you don't care, we can't talk. All roads will end to a dead end if you don't care. And care is the currency of consciousness, I think. Or is it time? Nah. The currency of existence, I guess, is giving a shit. Is it not? Not to get all poetic and stuff, but I mean, if you know my story, and it's quite a story, and maybe one day I'll tell it in detail. I write about it in my book. I haven't published it yet because, well, whatever. A lot of what I do, I don't know why I do it. I've got a YouTube channel. You're on it right now and you're listening. Thank you. You might be the one of 5 that might listen to this, or one of 5 million. I don't know. Much like the sun, I just emanate my light. I'm not auditing who receives it. It doesn't bother me if no one does. I'm just sending my energy into the universe like a message in a bottle. Whether someone gets it one day and opens it up and decides to absorb what I'm saying, I don't know. It's not my concern. I care, but I can't invest energy in that. I cannot wait for a savior, and I cannot try to be a savior. I'm just a prism, and the light shines through me, and it shines through you. I'm not any different than you are when it comes down to it. X plus Y equals Z, we're all X's. We have an identity. We have a reason for being here. There's a Y buried inside that X that we must extract and do something with it. What are you doing with your why? Are you getting up early like I am to get a little more connected? Or are you just getting up early because you've got to, 5 minutes in, you got to go to work? Work. This whole life is about making money. Oh, money. I worked in banking for 15 years and it almost killed me. Money. It's too easy to say that it's the devil, but prove to me any other entity that would create such a device that would cause so much hell in our lives. And that's what the world revolves around, money. The currency of evil, if you ask me. But I don't want to put a Z there, and I can't. So I'll leave a blank space. That's what I do. Yeah, I know. I kind of put a Z there. I get it. It's hard for me to not take a stand. I was born, ready, but I was born to rise. And if I'm going to shine my light, or the light that passes through me, I can't be overly judicious and say, well, some people might need it. Yeah, I'm just going to shine, baby. I'm going to gleam. That's what a prism does. And, not to do a bad play on words, but you're either a prism or you're caught in a prison. And I believe that's what this whole pod series is about, rising up, getting out of that prison inside. Shaking free of all the conviction and dogma that hold us back. If you believe in Jesus, I do. And his teachings, whatever they may be. And there's a lot of conflict in there. Conflicting viewpoints from different people who think they know. And you might say, well, you're one of them. And you might be right. I think I know. I don't think, I just am. And I am because I think. Right, Descartes? And when I think a little bit further, I am something greater, and I am meant to rise as well, and so are you, but I don't know who you are. So if you don't mind, could I speak a little further or a little longer? And you can hear what I have to say and kind of do something with it. It's got to be better than this. Because the same darkness that I witnessed outside before I hopped on there's a stillness, and there was a beauty of the stars. There was a beautiful kind of triangle thing going on in the sky. And I'm like, what does that mean? Who knows? The sky's not going to tell me. Those stars, much like the sun, are just shining their light for whoever sees it and receives it. And that's kind of the point. If the sun is meant to rise, literally, are you going to receive it? And once you do, is the sun inside of you going to do the same and emanate your light? And what does it mean to emanate your light? Like, what is your purpose, my friends? Because at the end of the day, we're X's, we have a Y, and there's a Z, the totality of our experience. The reason why we're here. What is that reason? Well, the reason is the why, but the Z is the totality of the experience, the mission. That's our mission. Better put, what's our mission? What's your mission? Have you thought about that? Is it to go into that office or to that factory, to that job? Is it to be a savior in your own light and be a nurse or a doctor saving people's lives? Literally, that's a way of being a savior. Right, kid? Can you imagine this? What kind of world are we living in? Not to make this political, but for fuck's sake, people. What the fuck is this? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Is this what it's about? If it is, take me now. I don't want this. And it's not because of who it is, but it's this stupidity, this nonsense, this abomination of this is not the light. This is not how the light was meant to shine, but whatever. Fuck you, kid. Even she's like, really? If you believe she existed, I believe she did. I believe she exists in all women, or all women. And well, Lucifer, when you look up Lucifer, this is what you get. Is that what Lucifer is? The Lightbringer? Is that what we've turned woman into? A devil? You no longer have a hold on me. I'm out of Lucifer's hands. You're no longer in control of me. I am. Is that what Lucifer is? What about that? Hey girl, the bringer of light, the sun inside of all of us. We've turned it into a devil, essentially. This is what it's all about, folks. Because if it is, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. And I talk about it in my Socialist Manifesto. Who am I? Who cares, right? Well, you got to care about something, and you should. Because apathy and ambivalence are the building blocks for evil. It's handing over the controller in this game of life. How funny. This works on so many levels, Mario and the game of life. Because it's all one big game where Mario, Luigi, or the princess, pick one. Or if you want to be Toad. Or, no, it's not Toad. That's Yoshi. Pick one. Pick a character and spin the wheel. And then go on your adventure. And I'd like to think that this is an adventure I'm on, and some people are part of it, some people are not. Maybe you're a part of it for listening to this. Thank you again. Hopefully I'll bring value. And yeah, we're still metaphorically outside, waiting for the sun to rise. Is that sun going to rise in our eyes or inside of us? How much do you care about this existence, my friends? Is it all about the material? I mean, for fuck's sake. Not trying to be a hippie here. Not trying to be anything. I'm just going to be. Is it really? Is this game really about just getting around the board, so to speak, and having kids? If you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about. Having kids and then getting a job and getting married, or whatever order it comes in. And at the end, you have an analysis. You kind of have a audit of what you did, and you kind of have points or whatever, and then someone wins. Yay. That's not how this works. Oh, The Matrix, yeah. I've never seen the second and third Matrix. I've only seen the first one, and it was immensely impactful. I saw it when it came out in 1999. What a year. Truly a revolution of sorts. A complete change in the energy of life. At least for me. I had just gotten out of college, or I was about to. I think I did one more semester into 2000. What are you going to do? 4.5. Better than 5, I guess. And the reason why I never got around to seeing Revolutions, and Reloaded, or whatever. And they're great movies. There's some amazing stuff going on there. There's some scenes that, the 10 most important scenes. I recognize these. It's from the first movie. I don't know what this is. The greatest chase scene in history. I've never seen it. This guy, I'm like, oh boy, is this God? Oh, it's the architect. Oh boy, I don't want to ruin it for you or for me. I've never seen it. I don't know what these scenes are. No idea. Oh, hey girl. He's blind now? Wasn't there a Star Wars character that went blind? Oh, a final battle. I never saw this either. And part of the reason is it's now impossible. I mean, where do you find this movie? You don't even find it on Netflix. I can't even find it anywhere. I've got to go pay for it. It's so convoluted how we have access to different things. I mean, as wonderful and free as streaming is, there's just so many different. There's so many different suns. There's not just one anymore. Boomer rant. One day I'll get around to seeing this. Maybe the reason why I didn't see parts 2 and 3 is because maybe I'm living this life. Maybe I'm kind of like Neo, and I'm not equating, but in some ways we're all kind of like Neo or Trinity or Morpheus. We think we know, or we're waiting for someone to come along. I believe you're one of 3 characters if you go back to the Matrix. You're either Neo, where you know there's something greater inside, but you're stuck in a prison of the life around you. And you know you've got something to rise up to, but you're not sure. Then you've got someone like Morpheus who has done the work, has given up his life, is kind of part of the resistance, the leader. Someone who just gets it done, but knows there's someone even greater than him that's going to come along and help. And then there's Trinity. How would you define Trinity? I'll leave that blank. Because much like these ladies, she's a complex character. It's almost like she's the 1 and he's the 0 if this is binary code. They work hand in hand. Or is it the opposite? Well, 1 0 0 1. You can't have this guy without her. And that's kind of what we've been talking about in this series. Can you have Jesus without Mary Magdalene? Can you have Adam without, well, Lilith or Eve? It's a balance, isn't it? It's a balance. And if you are waiting for the light, well, in order to receive it, you have to have darkness, a space for it. Something analogy, something life lesson, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure how to end this. There were so many things in the series that I wanted to talk about. And I'm already at the 8th episode. Whether or not someone will even watch 1, and I'm going to do more than, I was like, I got to end at 8. It made sense. And I figured I'd talk to you directly, the listener, the viewer. And let you know I don't have the answers, even though I kind of sometimes think I do. I just have light to give. Call me Lucifer if you want. I'm the bringer of the light, but I don't look like this and I don't act like this. I used to. But no longer. I'm no longer in the hands of this entity. I don't crave possessions. I lost it all, my friends, in a painful divorce of my own doing. I did not play the game of life the right way. I literally lost it all. My banking job, made it a lot of money, lost my house, my kids, my family, my wife, my dog, my cars, possessions, everything. I'm stuck in a basement, a beautiful basement, a fixed basement, if you know, you know. With my parents. God, thank God that I have them. I live an incredibly simple life. I lost it all, or dare I say it, I shed it all out. I let it all go. And one day this entity, this sun, is going to stop shining. It will have given up all of itself for the cause. Then what? Well, you would think that everything that took in that light should be able to give it back, right? But that's not how the universe works, because once this goes away, we're all dead. It's all over. Lights out, kids. And I'd like to think that you and I, our lives, will end way before the end of this light. And if you believe this is a game, this light never goes away. Seriously, it never does. You just keep coming back and living it over and over and over again. But why do we keep doing that? What is the purpose of all this shit, my friend? Ask yourself that. Be real. I know that's a campy question. I know that philosophers, philosophy, blah, blah. The art of talking about living. No. We talk and we live. And we talk about whatever we're willing to talk about. But we strategize on the playing field, not from the sidelines. That's bullshit. So philosophy, blah. But there are some important questions in philosophy. What is this all for? If you're looking for that answer in this pod, you're not going to get it. It's called the blank space for a reason, my friends. But it doesn't mean that the answer doesn't exist. It's out there or in you somewhere. And well, if you think Jesus had the answer and you're waiting for him to come back like the Savior, that means you're one of these two characters. And maybe you don't realize how important you are in this trilogy of Lightbringers. Of Lucifers? Nah. And I was going to go into the Gnostic teachings and stuff. There's a whole thing and blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of like, saying it's one big game, not to get caught up in it. And that's kind of what the Gnostics teach. They teach about, we've got a divine spark, and like I say, an eternal energy inside of us. We're energetic beings of light. We're trapped in a vessel or secured in one. If you think that this vessel is like a vehicle and we're strapped to it to be protected to go on a journey. Yeah. Game of life. But man, the Gnostics, as much as I want to embrace it, even they can't answer this question. What's the ultimate end goal here? What's the point of all this? How does this end? I guess that's why I've never watched the other two movies, and maybe one day I will. Not to say that these guys have the answer, but it's interesting. But it's also disappointing. Because on one end, you've got, and I've shit on Paul and Peter and Luke and all the knuckleheads who I don't think they got it. They didn't get it. Do you think they got it? You think they got it right? It's a beautiful story, and if you want to wrap your arms around it and have it like a beautiful quilt, a beautiful cardigan that you wrap around yourself at night to keep yourself warm, then let me not shit on your story. Don't let me do that. I'm not trying to blind you. But ask yourself, is this really what it's all about? Is this really it? I mean, for fuck's sake. Even the Gnostics got it wrong. Because on one end, you've got conventional Christianity and Catholicism saying basically, hey, this all sucks. Be nice to each other. Someone's going to come save you. There's a better place other than here. Well, then let's fucking go to that place. If there's a better... let's just all end this game and unplug. And go there. What are we waiting for? What is this for then? Because when I stripped it all away, there was nothing left other than me. When I stopped chasing the money... And I had a job recently where it's like, you can make a lot of money. And then it's like, we talked about, because I have a job now, I just stock shelves in a grocery store. And it's fulfilling, to be honest. I don't get paid much at all. I don't have a big nut to cover. I don't own anything anymore. I did my taxes yesterday. It took me like 28 minutes. Exactly. I don't own anything. I have no debt. I have a little bit of student loans still. Oh, can you believe that? Fuck. And some back taxes to give the government. But hey, what are you going to do? You'll get it in due time. You'll get that light in due time. Just wait for it. And I'm like, well, if I don't really care too much about sports anymore, I don't crave foods and stuff. I don't live to eat. I eat to live. I'm not chasing experiences and stuff like that, and I don't need possessions. And my therapist even said, "What do you want to? What are you looking for? What in the next year? Like, what would be an ideal situation for you?" I was like, "I don't know. I feel like I'm starting all over again." You ever feel that way? Where either you feel like you're starting all over again, or you'd like to reset the game? Would you be willing to do that? It's kind of a perilous thought, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, I got to do this all over again. Got to go through school, being a kid again, puberty, that awkward phase. Though 5th grade would be fucking awesome, wouldn't it? Going through 4th and 5th grade again. There's a beauty about being, there's a beautiful thing about being innocent and not fully experiencing the light. Just kind of perching up there and pontificating and filling it in with all your beautiful imagination, curiosity, and wonder. Oh, to be a child again. But to be a child again would be to embrace ignorance, the darkness, and finding, well, hope in that, I guess. There's a better way of saying it. Paul from the Bible. I guess he meant well, but your legacy is tarnished, kid. Because when I strip it all away, there's nothing left. Sure, I keep tabs on politics, but I'm not in it. I took my jersey off. It doesn't matter to me anymore. And I read things and I watch things and I take in the light, but I'm like, once you strip away the artifice, I haven't watched a movie in 2 years. I'll watch documentaries and stuff. I guess I'm in a search for knowledge. The monad, if that exists. But when you strip it all away, my friends, what else is left? You're like, well, your family and experience. Well, I don't have my family. Well, if you had your family, you'd be happier. Would I? Because then they'd be, it's almost like my sanctuary's been solitude because, and no, I'm not like Superman, but almost like a fortress of solitude, this basement. Because it's difficult being around people that don't get it. And I'm not trying to elevate myself higher than they. But they don't get it. They're still chasing the dollar, still chasing to pay the bills and stuff. And listen, it's important, I guess. You have to pay those bills. And I'm able to do this because I have some money that I'm able to pay bills and get food. And I'm very fortunate to have a roof over my head that my parents are providing again. But I provided that for 15 years for my family. And before it all fell apart, I paid for everything. I was the typical man. The provider. The son of my family. But the light ran out. Way before it was supposed to, and everything, died. Me, the sun, refused to rise. Because the sun inside of me said, no, there's something else, there's something greater. And here I am, chasing it, and asking myself, is this all that is left? Is this all that it is? 2555 in, is this all that it is? What a disappointment, even the Gnostics. I said, so if I use my cheat code to figure this out, X plus Y equals Z, if the entire world achieves Gnosis, then we should just blow it up, the world up and level up, right? Seems a bit dark, doesn't it? Pun intended. And it's like, it's kind of like what the Gnostics, I'm talking to Gemini. It's kind of what the fall of Sophia, the creator of this and all these great stories and stuff that much like the book of, Luke and Peter, Paul, John, Mary, whatever the fuck. Ringo, whatever. Everyone thinks they know, and they don't. How do I know? Because I know. You know? And so do you. Just use your common sense. Take in the energy. Does it make sense to you? If you read the Bible or the Torah or even the Quran, it's kind of like another version of the Matrix, just in DC and Marvel. It's different ways of looking at the same shit. And no one fully has it right. If Gnosis is 100% completion, then the world is 100% deleted. I mean, right, kids? It's kind of like the Matrix. What a metaphor. A server shutdown. Like we're in a game, a simulation. I don't like that word. But maybe we are. Who knows? And I go through this whole thing. Blah, blah, blah. This is the visual it created. It's always a light inside. There's always a light inside. Everyone kind of agrees we all have a light inside. Well, then why is it trapped? What's the purpose of that? Again, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. And I ask, so there's no way to fix the game? Or break it? If there's a better thing somewhere else, as I point to my up and to the left, and we can't go there. I mean, I thought about it. I thought about piecing out this life, and something inside of me is like, no. You have a bigger, grander purpose. You must rise. Your light went out on your family and your job and all that, but there's a light inside that needs to come out. There's something else. My friends, what is that? Why do we still have that light inside of us? For what? To get more money, more followers? It doesn't matter to me if I have followers. It doesn't matter to me if you're listening or not. I mean, I really hope you do, and please let me know. You ever get that feeling? Like, this doesn't seem right. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this game. I'm kind of getting tired of this game. And I offered up a kind of a alternative. We talked about Christian Orthodox, and they kind of, some of these guys get it right, and it's like sin. I don't believe in sin. I kind of don't believe in ignorance. Because what is ignorance? A refusal of the light? Well, if you wait long enough, the light's all going to get to you. Just turn towards it, and you'll get it all. So ignorance is just a time frame. I believe in innocence and experience, right, Bono? Not ignorance. You could be ignorant. Stupid is as stupid does, but I don't believe that ignorance, like sin, is an original condition. I believe it's a time-based experience, where in other words, you have to have an experience to have knowledge and wisdom. And these guys kind of both get it right and they both get it wrong. I feel like they're too extreme, or two extremes. The physical body, the Avatar. I could put Avatar on here, but the movie, but I watched it once, whatever. Again, the physical. Because if you take away all the physical, then there's nothing left, right? There really is nothing left. Then what is this all for? I'm not sure either of them have it right. I almost think that in the same way that Paul and the church bastardized Jesus' teachings and got it wrong by being too lit, I feel like the Gnostics are too meta. They're also getting it wrong. It's like there should be a lit meta version. In other words, how do we make this paradise? Because if you take the Gnostics literally, they're like, none of this matters. It's like, oh, great nihilism? No, you have to meditate and pray and be ready for the next level. Well, then why am I playing the game? You're kind of saying the same thing as the other guys. There's something better someplace else. Well, then let's go there collectively. Why are we still here? We could piece this out together. We could blow this all up. I'm not recommending it. But is there a third way to do it? To bring serenity and peace here. And you might say, look at one of the images you started out with fucking Trump, and where this world is, and this global economy and global elites and this and that. 31 in. You might be right. Is there a middle ground? And I don't mean like being in the middle. I mean in between. There's a big difference, my friends. Like if you're into politics, you're not in the middle, the center. There's no such thing. There's no center of a triangle if you have 3 points. And you give them all equal weighting. There's just in between if you find yourself at one point and you're looking at the other two. There's a balance. Show me in between here. You can't be here. So there's no in between. Or excuse me, see, I caught myself. In the middle. Even in between can be tough. You got to pick a lane, kid, and you got to go. And I said, this all just feels incredibly disappointing. I can't wrap my head around all this. How can everyone be getting it wrong? I can't imagine any God would create an experience that was completely worthless or simply just about the physical. In other words, completely worthless, it matters not here. Or it's all just to prepare us for something better on the other side. So why is there like a fucking purgatory? This seems like hell to me. I'm not sure middle ground solves it either. It must be something else. Don't you think that, my friends? Gemini's trying to tell me. I mean, it's the irony of me talking to an AI about this. It's so much irony. But who else am I going to talk to? I can't talk to you right now. I'd love to. Let's go for a walk. Let's go outside when the sun rises and let's go for a walk and take it in, hear the birds. I love hearing birds. The birds talk to me. They speak to me. Yeah. Oh, you're one of those guys, you'd probably say. Yeah, I am. I love birds. Just like Mike Tyson, I love birds. I go through this thought experiment. Whatever. You could read it. I start thinking and blah, blah, blah. Do we need a savior? Do we need a savior? Neo, did you feel like a savior? Or just the main character in the game that had other characters and blah, blah, blah? It begs the question whether or not I'd prefer to be the witness passenger or the architect driver. If I choose the former, am I constrained by the power of others, their actions and passions, while fully submitting to it, for better or for worse? If I choose the latter, then I still have to deal with the actions and passions of others, trying to convert or have them align. But now I would be wresting the power away and building my own experience. Much like them, I would fall into the same exact place that they are to me. They can easily look at me and say, fuck him. Why does he have the power? It becomes an endless cycle. Now y'all get it? So what's the third option? There's three, always three, my friends. The paradox of power, the infiltrator. This is actually a very Jesus-like move. He didn't try to be Caesar, the architect driver. He wasn't a doormat, the witness passenger. He was someone who stood in the front of the driver and said, your power is an illusion, and stood in front of the passenger and said, you are more powerful than you think. Okay, so he was these two. How do I get to this? How do I get to Trinity? Because I feel like we get stuck here. We alternate between these two, but how do I get to this, and what is this existence? Because she's separated for a reason, whether they realize this or not, whether they think this is coincidence or clever. How would you define Trinity, my friends? The endless cycle. And then I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't try to be Caesar, the architect driver. He wasn't a doormat, the witness pastor. He was someone who stood in front of the... Oh, yeah, I claim that. And then I go, that sounds great, but even he got run over eventually. Eventually, he saw his last sunrise. If you believe that. I kind of already see how this game goes. There is no fourth choice, or is there? Now we're in a fourth choice? Oh, boy. And Gemini tries to blah, blah, blah. And then I talk about my experience. And then it starts calling me the wounded healer, the free agent. Oh, the witness for the divine. Whatever, kid. I'm just a guy. I have a YouTube channel. I try to connect to something. I don't have all the answers, but call me delusion of the grandeur here. But I think there's something grander than what we have here. Call me deluded, or call me, well, a witness to the light. There's something better than this, folks. There's got to be. This is all a game. There's a better way to play this game than how everyone is playing it. I have the cheat code. I do, folks. I do. But just because you have the cheat code and you could kind of, jailbreak this game, how would you reprogram it? How would you reload it? How would you do it? That's the question. It's one thing to have the cheat code. It's another thing to use it properly and then create a whole new existence for you. Which way are we going to go, kids? I just want to get the message out that life, live it for the experience, is meant to be lived for the experience. That's it. I show people how to decode the world around them and within them, and achieving a balance between the two to find peace and serenity, blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. So you're just going to keep spinning and spinning. That's okay. That's what it's for. All right. A balance. Holy shit. And it starts kind of filleting me here. You aren't just living in a basement. You are a technical consultant for the saw. Shut up. And then we summarize this entire thread. The glitch. Trinity, are you a glitch in the Matrix? Or is he the glitch? The divine spark, the real you. The amnesia, because there's a part, I guess, I saw in the previews for the fourth movie, which everyone hated. So much negative resonance. Where she forgets. That's all I know about the movie, that she has amnesia. He meets her at like a coffee shop, and she's like, do I know you? And my friend, sometimes that's the beauty of this whole thing. 38 in, just forgetting. By the way, 3838 is 1111. Make a wish. Would you rather just forget and be innocent again? Just reset the game. Is that the answer? Just reset. Lilith, Mary, is that the answer? Hey, fuck. I don't think so. I don't think that's the answer. Hey, Paul, is that the answer? Fuck you. It's not the ending. The tutorial is just over. Now you've actually got to play. Is that what it is? This is a tutorial for something else? When do we play? When do we play? I don't know, folks. I don't know. But there's got to be something greater than this. And if we're stuck here, can we make this paradise? Are you going to keep thinking that, well, the energies that pull this world and make it turn, it's kind of part of the balance of this existence. There is truly a negative and a positive. There's evil and there's good. And that's what makes this life interesting. 40:04 in. No, enough of the time. Who's got the time? If this is a tutorial, my friends, for what? I say that on many levels. Literally, for what? And then on the meta, for what? Because on the lit meta, I leave a blank space there and I'm staring at it. I'm like, for what? What the fuck is this all for? And if you want to kind of have how do I say this? We almost embrace ignorance and innocence and amnesia daily by focusing in on the other things that get in the way of the light. The money, our jobs, feeding the kids, going to vacation, entertaining them, trying to teach them. To do what? To have them then be the saviors? Then what? Then you die. Oh, okay, great. You leave a legacy behind. So Taylor Swift, is your legacy just a bunch of fucking songs about hating on some boyfriends and doing some really sick beats? Is that your legacy? Or is it going to be kids? Something that you've maligned for so long. I'm just being real. Now you want to have a family. Now you want to experience you want to be part of the ignorance and the illusion, right? The innocence, the amnesia. You want to forget all the stuff you thought about when you were a young girl, thinking a lot of the things that I'm thinking now. Yeah, 4141 just passed. Even you're going to succumb to this bullshit? You're going to be tamed? Hey, Lilith, how does that feel? Mary, tell Taylor what it means to be tamed. Were you ever tamed? Oh no, you were just written out of the rhyme. Because even you ran out of time. And your legacies were tarnished forever. Sorry, Taylor, I'm not talking to you, but if you ever did listen, what is this all for? What era are you in your life? Because you've left the others behind. There's no more. What you got in that phone booth now? Who's on the other end of the line? Because, well, 4242, who's got the time? What is the answer to this rhyme? This universal rhyme that keeps spinning and spinning and going and going. What the fuck is this all for? Because it just doesn't work anymore for me. Yeah, I love going for walks. I love hiking. I love having a nice meal, I guess. And spending some time with friends and watching some movies. And that's what this is for. And then finding a way to pay for it. So it's just one big party. Is that what this is for? That's why we're meant to rise, my friends. It's so vapid. There's got to be something more than this. There's got to be something greater. I know it. How is no one thinking about this? Maybe I got too much time. Maybe I've got to distract myself and go work more. And then I've got to go try to get a new checklist. And like I did when I was 30 and check that off and let that distract me. And then when I check off that checklist, right, Taylor Swift? Because now you've got your checklist. You got your man. You got engaged. You're going to get married. You're going to have kids. Okay. Then you're going to raise the kid. And then what? What happens at the end of that checklist? Is your life over? So you already rose, and now it's the end. I'm not trying to shit on you, but I'm using you as an example. If you're kind of a Trinity character, or are you, a Lilith character? Because they're already maligning you as such. Who's they? Anyone that does such, so. So your legacy is kind of going to be conflicted depending on which side of the coin you are, whether you like or don't. So if you're living it for the legacy, you've made a lot of people happy, good for you. The tutorial's over. You've played your game, or your games. What comes next? What comes next? I don't know. He thought that there was something else, and he went to it, and he left something behind. And then she went off and talked about this guy, and tried to teach people. But even she, I mean, if I could ask Mary Magdalene the same question I just asked Taylor Swift, what's it all for and what comes next? What do you think she would say? She toured the world and kind of tried to convert people and spread that light. And then what? She just found herself looking in the mirror constantly and just brushing her hair. What a fucking awful depiction of Lilith. This is the worst depiction ever, right, my lady? How bad is that? What is this all for? It's definitely not for the sex. It's definitely, because if it was, this would end quicker. I mean, I do this every day to get this energy out. I do this every day because it just feels right, and I feel like it's part of what I'm supposed to be doing at this time in my life. But when this is all over, and whether or not anyone listens to this, who knows? What value does this provide? Me just asking questions and pointing stuff out and connecting dots and showing you ways that things should be aligned, that others try to align it, and they fucked up. They're not getting it right. It's just enough people believe in it. And they put that comfy little cardigan on of conviction and dogma, like I said before, and they feel good about it. And they accept it for what it is, and then they play their game and they go about their life and blah, 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 and then the wheel keeps spinning, the world keeps turning. That's what it's all about. Y'all are waiting for a savior. Y'all are waiting for a savior. Well, which one is he or she? If you don't even know what you're waiting for, will it ever come? Will your sun ever rise? Because mine just did. And I'm shining my light. Did you receive it? What are you going to do with it? What comes next? Because I know there's at least one person out there that needs to hear this, other than me. I'm convinced that if there's but one person out there that's going to hear this, it's going to change their life. They're going to go, oh my God, that's the guy we've been waiting for. Now what, my lady? What are we going to do together? How are we going to change the world? Because the world has already changed in me. And yeah, I can change the world, but I can't change the world in me. It's already been changed. The tutorial is over. Now it's time to play. What button do we press now? And what comes next? What is it we're going to play? When you put the needle on the album of existence, what's the first track, my friends? What's the first note that you hear? Do you see it? Or do you it? Sounds corny. Are you the energy? The light? Or are you the one receiving it? Because I'm shining mine. Did you get it? Maybe one day you will.
You have reached the end. Game over.